Watching a tutorial video on how I made my template in Studio 1.4. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. This video is going to be good for just people starting out with the software and just looking for a good start. So create a new song. The only thing I changed in this screen was the tempo. I changed it to 150. All right. What I like to make sure is that this button right here, Snap to Grid, is on. So make sure that that button's on there. I also like to bring this little bar to 8 bars because that's our loop markers. So now when you do a loop active, that'll go ahead and loop for you. You can also toggle that down here at the bottom. Also, while I'm on the screen, I like to right click and enable play start marker. So now when I click my space bar, it'll always go back to that point, and you can always move that around, but it helps me find it more convenient than trying to click the stop button multiple times and trying to play where I want it to play when I can just move that there. Anyways, let's pull up our mixer here, and I usually start by my sidechain, just make sure that's all set up. I use LFO tool for my sidechain. I'm going to show you how I set that up. Add effects channel, I'm going to do that 3 times. And I'm going to name them while we're here because of the template, so we don't ever have to do this again. So down here, I'm going to name this the dark side. And then here, always sunny. And then here, I'm going to name this one paper clips. Right on. Now we're going to go to our effects, and we're going to drag in LFO tool to each one of those. There we are. Cool. So for our first LFO tool, this is where I'm going to sidechain all my basses and leads to it, so it's going to be a pretty heavy aggressive slope here. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring my smoothness to about 10. And then right here where it says note retrig, you're going to need to make sure it's on envelope mode. So go ahead and make sure that's there. For LFO tool 2 here, do the same similar thing. We're going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this a little bit over here. Bring the smoothness to about a 5 or 6. That's fine. And then for the note retrig, make sure again it's on envelope mode. Cool. For the third one, we're going to bring it this down just here a little bit. Bring this up, and then bring the smoothness to about a 5 or a 6. It's fine. Again, make sure envelope mode's on. All right. Now, in order to trigger these LFO tools to automate the volume, we need to add an input filter. So input, search, input filter. And we're going to drag this over here, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and add some MIDI notes here to tell the LFO tool when to automate the volume. Now, it doesn't matter what notes we use here. We just need to tell it where to do it. So I usually do something kind of like this for a starting point. And you're obviously going to go back and change this later from where your kicks and your snares and where you want the volume to automate a little bit. But for now, that's a pretty good starting point. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to duplicate the track 2 times. Okay, and now since we have 3 of these for right here, we're going to click LFO tool. We're going to make this tool 2, and this is going to be tool 3. Now we are essentially automating all of these LFO tools to automate the volume with these notes, okay? Cool, right on. What we're gonna do is hold command, click all these here, tracks, and we're gonna pack the folder, and I'm gonna name this Trigger Happy Totes, my goats. Cool, so we're that far. Now what we're gonna do is I'm going to add an audio track. I'm going to name this Kick Build. All right. And on my kicks, I use Neutron 2. So I'm going to slide this on over so that that's in there already. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I'm going to duplicate track complete. And I'm going to name this Kick. Right on. And then go ahead and hold the command down, click both of them, and pack a folder. And I'm going to name this, yeah, you guessed it correctly, Kick. You can name it Kicks if you want to. You can name it Nike. I don't really care. Whatever you want to do. This is your template. You're just kind of following along with what I normally do. Anyways, next one we're going to do is audio track, and I'm going to name this Snare. Again, I use Neutron 2 for my snares, so I'm going to bring that in so I don't have to do it later. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate this 2 times, so I have 3 different tracks for my snare. And then go ahead and hold Command down, and we're going to pack the folder, and I'm going to name this Snare. Cool. Now, I'm going to add, let's see here, I'm going to go ahead and add a serum in. There we are. And I'm going to, let's see, what am I going to do here? I'm going to add this EQ on here. And then I'm also going to add an OTT. Okay? So I have an EQ, an OTT, just to start off with. Obviously, there's probably going to be another OTT on there. There's going to be saturation. There could be a lot of different effects on here, but that's where I'm going to start off with for now, okay? Now, before I start duplicating this one, I'm going to go down to the serum here, and I'm going to lift up here a little bit. And where it says main, I'm going to go to the dark side. Yes, I'm going to make sure that this channel is going to the dark side, and I'm going to duplicate track probably 3 times. Cool beans. Now that we have that, I'm also going to add, let's see here. I'm going to add a Nexus because I also use that. So I might as well get that done right now. And I'm going to add an EQ on top of that so I don't have to do that later. And yeah, I'll go ahead and duplicate that track complete. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold Command down, and let's go ahead and pack those all into a folder and name this bass/leads. Rock on. Cool. Now for our next, what I'm going to add now is I'm going to add another track, audio track, and I'm going to name this highs. And I'm going to make sure that all my crashes and hi-hats and everything at our high frequencies are going to go into these tracks here. So I'm going to add an EQ on here, and I'm going to do a low cut, and I'm just going to, obviously this is going to change a little bit, but I'll have it there for now just for safekeeping. And I'm going to go ahead and, before I duplicate, let's go into here and route this to Always Sunny, okay? And for these nexuses, we're going to have to add that to the dark side. Yes. Okay, cool. Now that's the Always Sunny, and we're going to duplicate track 3 times. Again, hold Command down. Let's throw this into a little bucket. So pack folder. Let's name this highs. Wow. All right, cool. That works great. Now we're getting somewhere. Now let's go ahead and add an audio track, and I'm going to name this Upriser. Okay. And add an EQ on it. I will go ahead and throw a, let's put an OTT on it as well. And before we start duplicating, let's go ahead and route this over here to Always Sunny. So Upriser, duplicate track 3 times. And then on this one here, I'm going to name this Downriser. Whoops. Derp, derp, derp. Awesome. That rocks. All right, now let's duplicate that 2 more times. Actually, let's do it 3 more times. And let's name this Other FX. And then duplicate track. Okay. now on this other effects, what I'm going to do is I'm going to route this to paper clips, and then I can always change that later, but that's what I'm going to do for now. And then let's go ahead and pack these all into a folder. Hold down Command, click on all these effects, homie, and pack folder, and name this effects. Wow, that's awesome news. Okay, that's normally where I'm starting off. This is normally where I'm going to start off with my template. I'm usually going to open it up right about here. Now, on my mixer, on my master here, I will have a Ozone 8. So I'll put that right in there. Cool beans. Now I just have that all set up there. Right on. So now I have a pretty good template going on here. If your computer starts going crazy, you can start turning things off. It doesn't really matter. But this is where I normally start off. So now when I go to File and Studio One, let's see here, save as a template, I can just name it the title, the description, and then push OK. If you want to take a picture of like a booger on your finger, you can upload it into here, and then you can go and make that your icon. So that's pretty cool as well. If you guys like this video, give it a like. If you guys want me to do more videos, go ahead and let me know. And I hope this video helped you out. Thank you for watching, guys.